Hello students, Sairam. Let us continue with the same chapter, chapter number 5, lines and angles. In the previous sessions, we have learnt about complementary angles, supplementary angles, adjacent angles, linear pair and vertically opposite angles. And today we are going to learn about some more kind of lines as well as of angles. But before we learn about it, let us do one more question of exercise 5.1. That is question number 12. And the question is, find the value of the angles x, y and z in each of the following. So this is the figure given and you have to find out the value of x, y and z. Now here you can see angle x and here you can see here this is 55 degree. So these two angles, they are vertically opposite to each other. So they are called as vertically opposite angle. So angle x, as this is 55 degree, this angle is 55. So angle x also will be 55 degree. So angle x is equal to 55 degree. And then now you will see angle x plus angle y. You can see here these two angles. It is on a straight line. So angle x plus angle y is equal to 180 degree. We will write in the bracket linear pair. As these two angles are on a straight line, so it is forming a straight angle, and in bracket we'll write it is forming a linear pair. And now we know the value of angle x. Angle x is 55 degree. So here we'll substitute the value of angle x 55 degree plus angle y is equal to 180 degree. Then next step will be angle y is equal to 180 degree, and this we will bring it to this side. So it will become minus 55 degree. So 180 degree minus 55 degree is 125 degree. Now you have to find out angle z. Now angle z is here. You can see here angle z. Now just now we have got the value of angle y. Angle y is 125 degree. Now these two angles are vertically opposite to each other. So that is written here, angle y is equal to angle z, vertically opposite angles. Therefore angle z is equal to 125 degree. Now next question, you all are going to solve all this thing in your, these questions in your notebook, maths classwork notebook. Now next question of the same, this is the second part of the same question. Angle z, here you can see here, they have given you the measurement here, this is 40 degree. And here you can see, now angle z is equal to 40 degree because they are vertically opposite angles. So angle z we got here. Now we will go to the next part, that is angle y plus angle z. You can see here angle y plus angle z, that is equal to 180 degree. It is forming a linear pair. So angle y will be 180 degree minus 40 degree. So 180 degree minus 40 degree is equal to 140 degree. So we got the value of angle y as 140 degree. And angle z we have got here, that is 40 degree because these two angles are vertically opposite to each other. Now we are going to substitute these all values. We know this is 40 degree and angle x here plus 25 degree is equal to 180 degree. These three angles are on a straight line. Now we are going to add this to 40 degree plus 25 degree is 65 degree, and 65 degree plus angle x is equal to 180 degree. Next, angle x is equal to 180 degree. This will take it to the other side. So it will become minus 180 degree minus 65 degree is 115 degree. So we got the value of angle x as 115 degree. So this way you are going to find out the value of x, y and z. Now next we are going to learn about intersecting lines. Two lines which meet are called intersecting lines. You can see here these two are the lines. Here lines L1 and L2, they meet at a point O. You can see here this is the point where these two lines are meeting. And this point is called as the point of intersection. So these two lines are intersecting lines. Now this is an example, the letter Y which we write, capital letter Y, made up of line segments. You can see here there are three line segments, 1, 2 and this is the third one. So this is an example of intersecting lines because if you extend it, you will see that they will intersect, and this will be the point of intersection. This will form one line, this straight you will go, and this one more line, and this one more line. So you will see all these three lines will meet at this point. So this are intersecting. This is an example of intersecting lines. Next, we are going to learn about parallel lines. Lines which never meet are called parallel lines. So here you can see these are the two lines AB and CD. They are parallel to each other. So parallel lines have same distance between them. You can see they have same distance. You see here the distance between both the lines are same, and they never meet. They never meet. These two lines never meet. That's why they are parallel, and they point in the same direction. You can see these two lines are pointing in the same direction. So they are parallel lines. Next, we are going to learn what is a transversal. Transversal is a line which intersects two or more lines at distinct points. So here you can see these two are the lines, and here this is the transversal which is intersecting these two lines AB and CD at this point, at point P and point Q. So there are two distinct points where it is intersecting. So XY is called as the transversal. Now it can also intersect more than two lines. Here you can see there are four lines AB, CD, EF, GH, and this is the transversal. So a transversal can intersect more than two lines. Here there are four lines. So this way it can intersect many lines. So here XY intersect these four lines, and the distinct points where it intersects, that is point P, point Q, point R and point S. So these are the distinct points at which the line XY intersects these lines, four lines. So this is called as a, XY is called as a transversal. Now here in this figure you see XY, line XY, this is a line XY which is intersecting AB, line AB and line CD at this point, at point O. So can we call XY as a transversal? No, it is not a transversal because it does not intersect at distinct points. It intersects only at one point, that is point O. So it is not a transversal. Now let us consider, you can see children here there are two lines. Let us consider two parallel lines. You can see here. Now you know which are parallel lines. Line L and line M. These are the parallel lines with transversal P. This is transversal P. Now here you can see this transversal is forming 8 angles. See here, with line L, 4 angles are formed. Angle 1, angle 2, angle 3 and angle 4. Same way here you see angle 5, angle 6, angle 7, angle 8. So totally 8 angles are formed. So that is written here. Here angle 1 to angle 8 are the angles formed by these lines. These lines. It is formed by the transversal on these lines L and M. So let's learn what they are. Let us learn about the angles which are formed by the transversal on these two lines, parallel lines. Now next we are going to learn next interior angles. Now from these angles, from 8 angles which we have seen just now, which are interior angles. Now here you can see these angles which are inside the line. You can see angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, angle 6 which are in the interior side of the lines L and M. So interior angles are the angles which are between L and M. So these angles are in between L and M. So they are called as interior angles. So angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, angle 6. These 4 angles are called as interior angles. Now next we will understand, now you know what are interior angles. Which are alternate interior angles? Which interior angles we will call it as alternate interior angles. Now you see this figure, you will understand better. Now see here, These are the interior angles. Just now we have learned angle 3, angle 4, angle 5 and angle 6 as they are inside on the interior side of both the lines. So they are interior angles. So alternate interior angles are between lines, that is interior. First point. So they will be in the interior of the lines. Second point, in the opposite side of the transversal. Like here you can see, if I take angle 3 is on left side of this transversal, and if I take this angle 6, which is on the right side. So these two angles are opposite to each other. So they are in the opposite side of the transversal. That is, it is called as alternate. So if they are on the opposite side of the transversal, they are called as alternate. Same way you see angle 4 and here angle 5. Angle 4 is on right side of the transversal. Angle 5 is on the left side of the transversal. So we can call these two angles as alternate interior angles. Even these two angles you can see here, angle 3 and angle 6 are also alternate interior angles. Same way angle 4 and angle 5 are alternate interior angles. Now here you can see for parallel lines. If the lines you can see here and this line L and M, they are parallel to each other. So in case of parallel lines, children, you have to remember alternate interior angles are equal. They are always equal. That means angle 3 here will be equal to angle 6. Same way angle 4 will be equal to angle 5. So always remember, if the lines are parallel, then the alternate interior angles are always equal in measure. And if they are not parallel, then they are not equal. Now we will understand exterior angles. We have learned about interior angles. We have learned about alternate interior angles. Now we will understand exterior angles when transversal intersects two parallel lines. So with interior angles, it will form exterior angles also. So let us understand that. Now see here, this is the figure. L, M are the lines and this is the transversal. So you can see here these angles which are on the outer side, which is not inside. They are on the outer side of the lines. Angle 1, angle 2, angle 7, angle 8. So they are exterior angles. Exterior angles are the angles which are outside lines L and M. So they are outside. Outside means they will be on the outer side of the line. So here angle 1, angle 2, angle 7, angle 8 are exterior angles. Now we will understand alternate exterior angles. Which are alternate exterior angles? Now we know this angle, this angle, this angle and this angle. They are exterior angles. Just now we have seen that. Now out of this 4 angles, which are alternate exterior angles? Let us understand that. First thing what you have to see, alternate exterior angles are outside L and M. So you have seen just now 4 angles are outside L and M. Now they should be in the opposite side of the transversal. So that is the meaning of alternate. That means alternate. That is alternate. So that means if this one, let us take this exterior angle, it is on right side of the transversal. So if I take this angle which is on the left side of the transversal. So we can call this two angle as alternate exterior angle. Same way if I draw one angle over here, this angle will be alternate exterior angle to this angle. So this way we will get two pairs of alternate exterior angles. Now here you see, in case of parallel line, just now we have seen angle 2, angle 7 are alternate exterior angles which I have shown you. Okay, same way angle 1, angle 8 are alternate exterior angles. Here you can see here, it is marked here, angle 1, angle 8. Okay, they are alternate exterior angle. Angle 2 and angle 7, they are also alternate exterior angle. Now for parallel lines, you have to remember that alternate exterior angles are equal. Same like alternate interior angles. In case of parallel lines, even alternate exterior angles are also equal. Like here, angle 2 will be equal to angle 7. Suppose if angle 2 is 40 degree, then angle 7 also will be 40 degree. Same way, angle 1 also will be equal to angle 8. This one is on left side of the transversal and this one is on the right side, and it is on the exterior side of the lines. So angle 1, the measure of angle 1 also will be equal to measure of angle 8. Now we will understand which are corresponding angles. Now children, here you see these are the two lines and this is the transversal. You can see here it is named as M and N. So first thing, for corresponding angles you have to see that they should have different vertices. Here you can see this transversal, it is intersecting these lines at this point and this point. So this angles, the angles here, 4 angles which are formed, they have this vertex, common vertex, and this angles they have this point as the common vertex. So we are going to compare these angles with these angles because they have different vertices. That is the first point you have to see for corresponding angles. Now second point, they are on the same side of transversal. So they should be on the same side. Like here you see angle 1 which is marked red, it will be corresponding to angle 5 because they are on the same side of the transversal. Third point, they have corresponding position, that is both upper left or lower left or upper right or lower right. So that means if you are taking this angle, it is on which side? It is on left side, upper. This is upper side and this is the lower side. So it is on upper left of the transversal. So we'll take this angle which is corresponding to angle 1. It is also is on upper left side of the transversal. So we can say angle 1 is equal to angle 5 here in this figure. Now same way, if I take this one angle 4 will be corresponding to angle 8. You can see here this is on lower left side of the transverse and this is also on the lower left side of the transverse and they have different vertices. So we can say angle 4 is corresponding to angle 8. Same way here you see angle 2 will be corresponding to angle 6 because this is on right side, upper right side of the transversal. This is also on the upper right side of the transversal. So we'll say angle 2 corresponds to angle 6. Same way we can say this angle 3 which is on the lower right side, it will be corresponding to angle 7. This is also on the lower right side. So by different color, you can see this two has similar color, same color. So they are corresponding to each other. So this way we will find out the corresponding angles. Now here you see here in case of parallel lines, corresponding angles are also equal. So if the lines are parallel, now here you can see these two lines are parallel. So the corresponding angles are also equal in measure. Angle 1 will be equal to angle 5. Same way angle 2 which is on the other side, angle 2 is equal to angle 6. Here you see, you will see the lower, you will take the lower left. So if you take the lower left, here also lower left was angle 7. So angle 3 will be equal to angle 7. And if we take lower right, here angle 4 is equal to angle 8. So these are corresponding to each other and they are equal in measure. Now children, whatever we have learned, you revise and write down in your notebook as a note what are the angles you have learned. You can make a table and you can draw the figure to understand it. And this is the homework for today. This is the last question of exercise 5.1, question number 14. Question number 14. Question number 13 is objective fill in the blanks, which you can do it in your textbook. You try to do that and then this question you will do it in your notebook. Here you can see a figure is given. You seeing this figure, you have to name the following pair of angles. So these are the angles you have to name: obtuse and vertically opposite angles. So first you have to see they should be vertically opposite and then they should be obtuse also. So two conditions has to be seen. Second one, adjacent and then complementary angles. Here third one, equal supplementary angles. That means both the angles should be equal. And the fourth one is unequal supplementary angles. And fifth one is adjacent angle, but that do not form a linear pair. So this is your homework for today. Thank you. That's all for today. Take care.